What if there's a pill that could help you manage your fasting routine better? Now, that's a thought to ponder over. Well, it's not a mere hypothetical anymore. Meet Modafinil, a drug traditionally known for its wakefulness-promoting properties. But recent research has shed light on some intriguing new potential benefits of this substance, particularly its effects on caloric intake and fasting. Before we dive deeper into this topic, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more research results related to health and well-being. Now let's begin. Modafinil, originally developed to treat sleep disorders, has found a place in many off-label applications, from cognitive enhancement to mood improvement. But the aspect that's caught our attention today is its potential impact on our eating habits, especially for those practicing intermittent fasting. A study conducted by researchers from the New York State Psychiatric Institute and Columbia University found that modafinil remarkably reduced food intake in individuals living in a residential laboratory during simulated shift work. Interestingly, this decrease in caloric intake occurred without affecting the proportion of calories from carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. In another study by the Department of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry at NIMHANS in Bangalore, India, modafinil was explored as an add-on treatment for antipsychotic-induced hyperglycemia and hyperlipidemia. The study aimed to see if modafinil's anorexic side effect could influence carbohydrate and fat intake, potentially regulating antipsychotic-induced metabolic side effects. These studies provide a fascinating insight into the potential of modafinil as a tool for managing caloric intake and fasting. However, it's important to remember that while these findings are promising, more research is needed to fully understand the implications and potential applications of modafinil in this context. So, let's dive deeper into what these studies have found, shall we? Imagine a pill that could potentially reduce your total caloric intake. Sounds intriguing, doesn't it? Now, let's dive into the world of scientific research to uncover the surprising effects of one such pill, modafinil. A study conducted by the New York State Psychiatric Institute and Columbia University found some fascinating results. The researchers used modafinil, a drug primarily used to promote wakefulness, in an experiment with human volunteers living in a residential laboratory during simulated shift work. And guess what they discovered? Modafinil actually decreased food intake in these individuals. Yes, you heard that right. The drug led to a decrease in the total caloric intake of these volunteers. What's more, this decrease was dose dependent, meaning the higher the dose of modafinil, the greater the reduction in food intake. Now, you might be wondering, did this affect the balance of nutrients? Did they eat fewer carbohydrates, fats, or proteins? Well, interestingly, no. The proportion of calories from carbohydrates, fats, and proteins remained unaffected. But here's the real kicker. Modafinil also reduced feelings of hunger. So not only did the volunteers consume fewer calories, but they also felt less hungry. And this wasn't a fleeting effect. These effects remained stable across 3 days of dosing. So there we have it. A pill that reduces total caloric intake and hunger pangs without disrupting the balance of nutrients. Sounds almost too good to be true, right? But what about its effects on fasting blood glucose and serum cholesterol levels? Let's find out. We've seen how modafinil can affect caloric intake, but what about its impact on fasting and metabolic side effects? Modafinil's influence extends beyond just wakefulness and appetite suppression. A study conducted by the Department of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry at NIMHANS in Bangalore, India, delved into the effects of modafinil as an add-on treatment for metabolic side effects induced by antipsychotic medication. The study involved a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial with 72 patients. Modafinil was administered at a constant dose of 200 milligrams alongside flexible doses of various antipsychotic medications. The researchers monitored fasting blood glucose and serum cholesterol levels at the beginning, at 3 weeks, and at 12 weeks. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The study found a significant increase in fasting serum cholesterol from the beginning to week 3 in the group that took modafinil as an add-on. But then, from week 3 to week 12, there was a decrease in cholesterol levels. This fluctuation might make you wonder, is modafinil beneficial or detrimental? Well, the answer isn't quite black and white. While it's true that modafinil caused an initial increase in cholesterol levels, it's also important to note that the levels decreased over time. However, modafinil was not found to be as effective as statins, a class of drugs commonly used to control high cholesterol levels. So it seems that while modafinil can have an impact on metabolic side effects, its effectiveness might not be as potent as other available treatments. But remember, this study was conducted in the context of antipsychotic-induced metabolic side effects, which can be quite different from the metabolic changes experienced during fasting. This brings us to the question, is modafinil a potential game changer for intermittent fasters? Modafinil a potential game changer for intermittent fasters? Let's see what we've gathered. As we've journeyed through the intricate world of modafinil so far, we've explored its intriguing nature, its surprising effect on caloric intake, and how it influences fasting and metabolic side effects. Now let's delve into the potential benefits and limitations of modafinil for those practicing intermittent fasting. Research studies suggest that modafinil could be a powerful ally for intermittent fasters. It has been shown to decrease food intake in a dose-dependent manner without affecting the proportion of calories from carbohydrates, fats, and proteins. This means that while you might feel less hungry, you're still getting the right balance of nutrients your body needs. Moreover, modafinil's potential to regulate metabolic side effects is particularly promising. One study found that modafinil, when used alongside certain antipsychotic medicines, led to a significant increase in fasting serum cholesterol levels within 3 weeks. This was followed by a decrease over the next 9 weeks. Though not as effective as statins, modafinil's anorexic side effect could potentially impact carbohydrate and fat intake, aiding in overall metabolic regulation. However, it's important to remember that while the potential is there, modafinil is not a magic bullet. Its effects can vary greatly from person to person, and more research is needed to fully understand its long-term effects and safety. It's also crucial to consider your own health goals and circumstances when evaluating its potential benefit. For instance, if you're using intermittent fasting as a tool for weight loss, modafinil might be worth considering. But if you're fasting for other health benefits such as improved metabolic health or longevity, the picture might be different. As with any supplement or medication, it's always best to consult with a healthcare professional before making any changes to your routine. And that's all for today. As always, links to research papers are in the description below. Watch another interesting video we have prepared for you. The link should be visible on the screen. And for more insights, subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned, stay healthy.